I feel obligated to talk about this and in a little bit more sort of detail. Now, you may have saw my review of the game for Boxing Day. No draw with Oldham, and obviously putting down 9 in a row. I've seen a lot of mixed bag sort of thought. Some asking for Artell to go, some showing their whole unwaveringly support for Artell. And I wanted to give my honest opinion on this. I have replied to a couple of people on social media as well. I think this needs to be addressed really, because I think a lot of people are going to be taken as though, you know, they're too far one way and too far the other way. Right. If we are to look at the situation, they're going to be down or in, and we break it down like this. In the last 9 games, we have picked up 4 points. That is 4 points from the last 27 points available. Anyone, I think, calling for David Artell's head has a right to say that. I think they have a right to say that. I don't think that's even on the radar. I really don't even think that at the minute that's even possible. But I also don't think that asking the question as to why we have dropped so far off since October is an unfair question. I think, and I said that to a couple of people on social media. I put the question, you know, there was a guy that, I won't name him, but a guy that had supported Grimsby for 50 years and had seen things like this and was going, you're going to run like this. Fans are asking for the manager's head. And I just said, well, my caveat to that is simple. 4 points from 27. That's where the talk's coming from. It's not coming from David Artell being a good guy, which he is. It's not about being, I don't think it's been an overreaction so far. I think the fact that he's going to, he'll be fine. I mean, whether he's concerned or whether he isn't, the fans are going to be, aren't you? And I'm seeing all sorts of different kind of reactions, and which side of the fence should you fall on? I think it is easy to jump on the fire Artell bandwagon. It's also easy to seem like people are simply accepting the form that we're in. I'm neither. I'm not accepting the fact that we're 16th after being 3rd just 2 months ago. I'm not accepting that. I think that's unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Am I saying Artell needs to be relieved? No. But I am saying questions deserve to be asked. And, they're going to be, we've been on a run in the league where you don't drop that so drastically. That's 13 places in 2 months that we've dropped. And like I've said on many preview, Artell's got to find the answers. My take on it is his job is safe right now, but questions are questions, and I think football fans want wins. Football fans want to win. And this is where fans can be called fickle. What's fickle about the way some fans are reacting? Why is it fickle? It's not like we've won 3, drew 3 and lost, and lost 3. It's not like we've done that. Or we drew 4, won 3 and lost 2. We've drew 4 and lost 5. Of course questions are there and Artell has to answer them. And people, including myself, have said that David Artell's interviews have been sort of copy and paste. In one aspect, what else do you expect him to say? And in the other aspect, you don't need to listen to his interviews because you know what what his answers are going to be. And I've said before, we're playing well, but it's the fact that, to me, I think I'm not on the Artell out train. It's pulling him to the station slowly, but I think fans who are feeling like that have the right to feel like that, and until Artell shows us that this isn't a blip. A 9-game winless run is not a blip. You can try and spin it that way as though that it is, but it's not a blip. 2 or 3 game blip, that's a blip. Not 9 games without a win. That's not a blip. And I look at the overall social media reaction and go, they're both justified. I think both positions are justified in their thoughts. I think the Artell outers are to a certain degree justified, but also the ones that eminently behind him are justified. I'm neither side. It's about, I still ask the question, what are the answers? What are the answers? It's 3 games now where we haven't scored. One of the biggest scorers in England. We've now gone 3 games without scoring a goal. So I think it's all, you can't stop people from having the opinion, and I don't. Like I say, I think both sides are justified. I'm more on the side of the negative side, because you can't not. You look at some of the games that we've drew. Swindon, when we're actually in front at Swindon. Oldham yesterday, not much in that, and we couldn't, end up getting the win there. It's just all, being in the end the better side, but losing to a clinical Notts County, going to Shrewsbury Town, going ahead in that game, and then literally getting a draw because of one shot on target. frustration is bound to play a part in all this. And I think until us as fans unite, everyone's got a different perspective. But that doesn't mean that Artell can't be questioned. It doesn't mean that he should be sacked either. But it doesn't mean that questions shouldn't be asked. And I think we just need to... it's down to Artell and the lads. Now, we can say as fans what we want. What I believe is, he's got this game against Shrewsbury, then he goes to Fleetwood on New Year's Day. You need to start picking some results up and some wins up, because fan bases will turn quickly, one way or the other. But to me, it's not acceptable that we've dropped from 3rd down to 16th. It's not acceptable that we're winless in 9. I'm sure David knows that, but it's okay knowing that. You now have to do something about it, and the only people that can do something about it are telling the boys. They're the only people that can do something about this run. And I'm going to ask you this straight question. What side of the fence are you on? Are you 100% behind Artell? Are you starting to question things? Or are you Artell out? I don't think anyone really is fully Artell out yet. But I do think you're now getting people on the fence going, don't get a few wins. It could turn. So I just wanted to put my side on video about it. It's unacceptable. Whether you Artell in, Artell out, either way but loose. It's not acceptable. 9 games without a win is not acceptable, and I think questions deserve to be asked and are being asked. I'm sure by everybody at the club. I'm sure it's being asked. Why have we dropped off a cliff? Which basically is what we've done, and only the guys on the pitch and in the back room can answer that question. We can't answer it for them. But obviously, the longer we go without a win, for example, if we beat Shrewsbury, that doesn't mean everything's all rosy all of a sudden. It will alleviate some pressure, but it doesn't make us like everything's fine all of a sudden because we beat Shrewsbury. But if we talk in a hypothetical, if we don't beat Shrewsbury, that's 10 games without a win. That's a third of the season, basically. Pretty much without a win. It's so it depends. Just like I said, what side of the fence are you on? Are you on the side of, yep, I'm 100% behind Artell? Or are you on the side of the fence that, I'm questioning what Artell's thinking? No one's in the wrong for thinking what they think. But the results and the points tally go against Artell. And to drop, like I said, to drop from 3rd to 16th, it's not acceptable. And fans that accept that, maybe you need to look at yourselves. Because if you're prepared to accept that we've dropped 13 places in 2 months, they've been winless for those 2 months, is that blind loyalty? Is that because you don't want to notice the drop off? You know, so let me know which side of the fence you're on. Me, at the minute, I'm teetering in the middle. I really am teetering in the middle. We need results to maybe get my opinion changed. I need to see a difference. At the minute, I don't see one. And at the minute, while we are lying in the bottom half of the league, you're going to get a lot of the reactions that we've already got. So that's just my 2 penneth worth questioning that, you know, at the end of the day, from 3rd to 16th is not acceptable. 9 games without a win is not acceptable. And I think it needs to be addressed. We can't address it as fans. We can give our opinion. The only people that can address it are David Artell and the team. And I've always said this, it's not about individual players. It's about collectiveness. The only thing I'll finish this on is how the team that started so well dropped so far off. I don't get it. I don't understand how you can drop this far off. You know, and it's something that needs answering. I want your thoughts on this. Which side do you fall on, and why? And if you don't think he's under pressure, if you don't think Artell is under pressure, when would he start being under pressure? I think he's under pressure now because not winning in 9 is going to give you pressure. But when do you think he's going to be under pressure? If he's not under pressure right now, in some of you guys' opinions, when is he going to be under pressure? When would you put Artell under pressure? When do you think he's got questions to answer? Be interesting to know. I'll be back tomorrow with a preview for Shrewsbury. But in the meantime, guys, leave me comments down below, your thoughts, your reactions, your... it's about having an honest discussion. Which side do you fall on? That is the question. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you for the preview soon. Ta-ra for now. Bye-bye.